Hey everyone, welcome to your personalized deep dive. Whether you're just starting your career or you're a seasoned pro, there's one skill that's absolutely essential, and that is building resilience.
Yeah, resilience is about more than just bouncing back from setbacks. It's really about how to thrive in the midst of all the twists and turns that professional life throws at you.
It is, and adulting is hard enough as it is. Like the job market can feel like a roller coaster
For
sometimes.
sure.
So figuring out how to not just survive, but actually thrive, that's where resilience comes in, right?
Absolutely. And the interesting thing is that resilience is not some kind of innate trait that some people have and others don't. It's actually a skill, a muscle you can develop.
Okay, so we can build it.
You can build it.
Awesome. I love that now for this deep dive, we're doing something a little different. We're taking you behind the scenes of a podcast script.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called the Resilience Podcast. And this particular episode focuses on navigating the transition from education to employment.
Yeah.
And that can be a little bumpy.
It can be very bumpy.
Yeah, a lot of twists and turns. So let's unpack this thing, resilience. What is it, especially when we're talking about our careers?
So when we're talking about resilience in the workplace or in your career, it's the ability to not only bounce back from setbacks, things like job rejections or tough projects, but it's also the ability to adapt to new situations and keep moving forward even when things get tough.
So it's not about avoiding challenges altogether.
No, not at all. In fact, it's about developing these skills and the strategies to effectively cope with those challenges.
I see.
And that's what makes it so empowering. Resilience isn't about being superhuman. It's about having the tools and the strategies to help you navigate those rough patches.
Okay, I love that a resilience toolkit. So this script that we're looking at uses a case study
Yes.
to illustrate this idea of resilience. And they introduce us to Marcus. He's a recent marketing grad who, like so many of us, experiences the sting of job search rejection.
Yeah, Marcus is a great example of how someone can take those initial feelings of self-doubt and turn them into fuel for growth.
Okay, so the script paints this picture of him like really struggling, feeling that weight of rejection, like questioning if he's even cut out for this whole marketing thing.
Yeah.
So how does he turn things around? Does he have some kind of secret weapon?
Well, I'd say his secret weapon is resilience, and he demonstrates that through action.
Okay.
So instead of getting bogged down by the rejection, he actually seeks feedback on his applications, he revises his resume, and practices his interview skills.
Okay, so he's proactive. He's not just sitting back and like waiting for something to happen.
Exactly. He's taking control.
He's taking control. Love that. But I imagine he's still facing hurdles, right?
Of course. And that's where his story gets even more interesting. He doesn't land his dream marketing role right away.
Oh.
But instead of viewing this as a failure, he takes on a marketing internship at a startup.
So he's leveraging what could be seen as a setback as a stepping stone.
Exactly. And that internship becomes a launchpad.
Wow.
He gains valuable experience, he builds his network, and eventually he lands a full-time position that's aligned with his goals.
I love that story. And what really strikes me about Marcus's journey is that it shows how resilience is not just about mental toughness.
Right.
It's also about strategy. It's about being willing to adapt
Absolutely.
and recognizing that sometimes the path to success is not linear.
It's not a straight line.
It is not a straight line.
Yeah, and what I find fascinating is how he uses specific techniques to actually bolster his resilience techniques that we can all learn from.
Which is a great segue because this Resilience podcast script outlines a simple but powerful reflection exercise to help listeners uncover those techniques.
Yes.
So let's bring you, our listener, into this for a second. Think about a recent challenge you faced. It could be work-related, personal, maybe even just a frustrating situation. Got one in mind?
All right, with that challenge in mind, let's consider some questions. What exactly happened? How did you feel in the midst of that challenge? What actions did you take? And looking back, what did you learn from that experience?
And this isn't about dwelling on the negative or rehashing the past, right? It's about uncovering your existing coping mechanisms, those go-to strategies that you might not even realize you're using.
Exactly. By understanding how we've tackled challenges in the past, we can begin to identify our strengths and areas where we can build our resilience even further.
So this is about recognizing that we all have a resilience toolkit, whether we're aware of it or not.
Yes, and it's through reflection that we start to understand how to use those tools more effectively and even add new tools as we encounter new challenges.
I love that. So we have the toolkit, but what are some of those tools? Like what specific strategies can we use to actually build our resilience?
Well, that's a great question, and one that we'll definitely delve into as we continue our deep dive.
Stay tuned because in part 2, we'll be exploring some practical, actionable strategies that you can start using today to bolster your resilience and navigate your career journey with confidence.
Awesome. Looking forward to it.
Welcome back to our deep dive on resilience. We just finished reflecting on our own experiences with challenges. And now it's time to get into like the nitty-gritty, the how-to of building that resilience muscle for your career.
And the exciting thing is there are concrete steps you can take to boost your resilience.
Yeah.
It's not this mystical quality
Right.
that some people just have and others don't.
Yeah. So where do we start? Give us the goods. What are some actionable strategies?
So one of the foundations of resilience is cultivating a positive mindset. And this doesn't mean, putting on rose-colored glasses and ignoring difficulties.
Right.
It's about focusing on solutions and possibilities even in the midst of setbacks.
So it's about reframing those like I can't thoughts into how can I questions.
Exactly. And that shift in perspective can make all the difference.
Yeah, I can see that.
Another crucial aspect is self-awareness.
Mm.
Taking the time to understand your strengths, your weaknesses, and also those triggers that might throw you off balance.
It's like having that user manual for yourself.
Yes.
So you know how you operate best, especially under pressure, which I can see how that would be a game changer when it comes to handling, tricky situations at work.
For sure. And with that self-awareness comes the ability to proactively seek support when you need it.
Okay.
Whether it's a mentor, a career counselor,
Yeah.
friends, family, having a strong support system is invaluable.
It's like having a team of cheerleaders on the sidelines ready to offer encouragement
Exactly.
and guidance when you need it most.
Yes.
Speaking of support, the script also emphasizes the power of professional development in building resilience.
Yes. Constantly learning and expanding your skill set not only keeps you relevant in a rapidly changing job market, it also does wonders for your confidence.
It's about staying agile.
Yes.
And ready to embrace new challenges.
Exactly. And sometimes that means stepping outside your comfort zone.
Which can be scary.
It can be, but taking calculated risks, even if they feel a bit daunting at first, can lead to immense growth. And even if things don't go exactly as planned, those experiences provide valuable lessons.
It's about viewing those perceived failures as feedback, as opportunities to learn something new.
Exactly.
Speaking of learning, the script also touches on goal setting as a resilience-boosting strategy.
Yes. Having clear, achievable goals and breaking them down into smaller, manageable steps really helps to maintain motivation, especially when facing obstacles.
It's like having those mini milestones to celebrate along the way,
Yes.
which can really boost morale and keep you moving forward.
Absolutely. And amidst all of this goal setting and professional development, we can't forget the importance of self-care, prioritizing your physical and mental well-being.
Yeah.
Through exercise, sleep, a healthy diet, and even mindfulness practices is crucial for sustainable resilience.
Yeah, this is something that's often overlooked, but it makes perfect sense. You can't pour from an empty cup.
Exactly. Taking care of yourself ensures you have the energy and mental clarity to navigate those inevitable ups and downs that come with any career path.
So we've covered a lot of ground here, from mindset shifts to self-awareness, seeking support, and even embracing calculated risks. Any final thoughts on building resilience as we kind of wrap up this part of our deep dive?
I think it's important to remember that building resilience is a journey, not a destination.
Okay.
It's an ongoing process of learning, adapting, and refining your approach.
And it's about recognizing that you don't have to go it alone.
Exactly. Seeking guidance from mentors, connecting with colleagues, or even working with a professional coach can provide invaluable insights and support.
So what does all of this mean for you, our listener, as we transition to part 3? We want you to think about this. How can you take these actionable strategies and start applying them to your own career journey? Welcome back to our deep dive into resilience. We've talked about what resilience is, we've seen it in action through Marcus's story, and we've even uncovered some strategies that we can all use to build our own resilience muscle.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, resilience is becoming more and more important in today's world. Like, everything's changing so fast.
Yeah.
Technology advancements, global interconnectedness.
Right.
All of these things are demanding that we cultivate this ability to adapt and thrive amidst uncertainty.
So it sounds like resilience is kind of like a superpower
It is.
for navigating not just our careers,
Right.
but life in general.
Exactly. And what's fascinating? The skills that you develop for handling career challenges, they also apply to other areas of life.
Mm.
They can empower you to navigate personal setbacks, relationships, even those unexpected curveballs that life throws your way.
So it's about so much more than just getting that dream job or that promotion.
It is.
It's really about equipping yourself to handle whatever comes your way with confidence.
Exactly. And remember, resilience isn't a destination.
Right?
It's an ongoing process. It's about consistently practicing those strategies we discussed, learning from your successes and your setbacks, and refining your approach as you go.
It's almost like building a muscle.
It is.
The more you use it,
The stronger it gets.
the stronger it gets. Exactly. And just like any workout routine, there are going to be days when it feels easier than others, right?
Absolutely. And that's where self-compassion comes in.
Yeah,
There will be times when you stumble or you face setbacks that feel really tough.
of course.
That's normal. Resilience isn't about being perfect. It's about having the tools and the mindset
Yeah.
to get back up and keep moving forward.
I love that. And I think it's so important to remember as we wrap up this deep dive into resilience that you are not alone on this journey.
You're not.
There are so many resources available, whether it's people you can connect with
Right.
or strategies you can implement to build this superpower.
And the world needs your unique talents and perspectives.
Yeah.
Resilience is that fuel that will empower you to share your gifts, to make your mark, and create a positive impact.
So knowing what you know now about resilience, what is one small step you can take this week to strengthen your own resilience muscle? We encourage you to reflect on that question, put these insights into action. And thanks for joining us on this deep dive into resilience. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep thriving.